on Netflix, I watched the recently added Moon from 2009 sci-fi film starring, is it Sam Rockwell? Kind of a quasi-villain from Iron Man 2, right? He was also the guy who tried to recruit the kids in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Remember him? So anyways, yeah, I guess he just won an Oscar, so they have to try to get his lineup of films in on the Netflix catalog, right? He plays a spaceman. Shit, did they say his name was Sam? I think they said Sam. That's the actor. I'm gonna call him Sam. Jesus. So anyways, yeah, he's stationed on a moon base where they farm something. They call it helium-3, I think. And it's like what they use to power everything on Earth. So he has a very important job, and he's alone on this station. It's largely automated. He has a robot sidekick voiced by Kevin Spacey. I like the robot sidekick. I like how he wasn't attached to the ground, but he had tracks in the ceiling he would go across, and he could bring items. He could clip his hair. He could do different things for him, and you can see there's some resentment there in just kind of the way the art department done him up. You know, he wasn't really cleaned up. He had the robot face, which is just essentially an LCD screen with an emoji. I thought that was interesting. You know, when you come up with robots, you have to try to do it different than everybody else. You really honestly do. And so much has been done before. So I felt like this was an interesting robot. You can see on the back he has a kick me post-it note and a bunch of like coffee kind of smeared across me. It hasn't been cleaned up. You know, so Sam doesn't really care too much about him. He has a few hobbies he does to pass the time. He has like a 3-year shift up on the moon base. Builds like a miniature of his town. Has a wife that he's waiting to go see. She's pregnant. Hasn't seen his daughter yet, or maybe she's a little kid. I can't remember the exact details. But he doesn't get a live stream of anything, but they show him like the Super Bowl, and he has some messages relayed. But the robot has live chats with the Earth people, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Couldn't he just direct feed that? Type out a message to him like totally in secret so Sam doesn't know? Well, anyway, Sam wanted to investigate some stuff. He headed out to go see their farming tank, and he goes and checks up on it, but he gets these images of ghosts floating around. Some chick with brunette hair. She's the girl from the newest Pirates of the Caribbean movie, which I'll probably get around to watching. I see people over there, so I'm going this way. Oh, nope, we're going to be in trouble. Okay, lady with stroller, please don't go this way, please. Anyways, yeah, so he crashes, and then he gets brought inside. And he's like, oh, hey, how'd I get here? Oh, you had an accident. You know, get some rest. So eventually he wakes up, and he feels better and everything. And then he goes and investigates because he's not allowed to go outside. He hits some fuel line. There's a leak. And then Sam goes outside to check in the moon base, and he uncovers the missing person in the rover that went out there earlier. And that's when you realize that there's 2 of them. So there is a clone Sam in one of these scenarios here. Like, who's the original Sam? And now the movie's gotten interesting. You're like, okay, so they thought he died. They activated a clone. The clone has these memories of you know, he's just serving his moon base period here. They're sending a rescue team to go help out. Place is on kind of lockdown. Get your rest, right? Rescue team, sure. They're here to take you out. Take out a clone. They learn that there's a secret compartment, and they can look around inside, find out there's a bunch of other Sams waiting to be go through their trip. And whenever one of them, I guess they get sick, they break down maybe after 3 years. That's why they have a 3-year trip. They get sick, they get into the pod so that they can get cryo-frozen for their return trip home. And instead, it's an incinerator. Boom. Ashes. So they try to hatch a plan to escape, but the original Sam we saw, he's really breaking down. And he's not even original. They don't know how long this has been going on. they manage to get a real phone call going, which kind of makes you wonder why this even has the process to do that. Why actually give him a real phone to discover this, if the whole trick was that he's basically a prisoner? You know, the real Sam had came back to Earth. His wife had died, but he's living with his daughter. They call the daughter, who I think is like 17 at the time of this. And let me tell you, if she's 17, this is the get you in trouble 17. So, shit, probably shouldn't have said that. Anyways, they hatch a plan to try to sneak away in the storage containment for this H3 stuff, but it's going to be a long trip and you can't use the restroom. But the sick one can't escape. So they're just going to put him back where he's supposed to be so that the rescue team finds him. The other one sneaks away, gets on the shuttle and leaves with the stuff. And then you hear over the radio that it appears as though he's made a fuss about this. The company's been exposed. They have clone labor, where human rights, whatever. Some people are upset there shouldn't be clones and all this, right? The problem with this movie, I feel like it lacks heart. It's entirely contrived that there would be these ghost images. I mean, I suppose the only way that could possibly play is if these Sams have figured this out in the past. You know, like Neo in the Matrix, you're not the first one. And then where'd this residue memory come from? Because they were all cloned from the original. Surely before he ever realized any of this stuff. You know, they think this was like 16 years ago. I thought I heard somebody running. Could be those ghost images on Moon, right? So, yeah, I felt like this was a bit messed up. There could have been more relationship explored between the two Sams. They didn't have anything real touching character to say. Everything was like, here's me walking over here. Kind of cheapish looking CGI, maybe miniature stuff on the Moon mix. I do like the art direction. The set design was fine. It's just sometimes the movie kind of showed its budget and it got a little boring. It's a little boring to watch one guy who doesn't have much of a personality try to lead this movie. Honestly, it is. Sam Rockwell, that's why you got a Best Supporting Actor Oscar. You're not leading man material. Shit, I mean, yeah, this movie's a bit overrated. I like the twist. I thought that was okay. I like the robot. I like the design of it, the art direction, but yeah, it needed better writing, honestly. There needed to be some actual dialogue that really built this up. You know, maybe there are some parts here where things got too coincidental. Seeing the ghost. Robot has a conversation, tries to be behind his back. You know, I like how the robot's ultimate goal is to help Sam so he's able to justify giving him codes and allowing him to figure this out. But even if it was the angle that, hey, others have figured this out, maybe that should have been revealed too. Yeah, I give Moon 2.5 out of 4 stars.